The vast expanse of space had always been silent, cold, and indifferent. But on that particular Tuesday morning, everything changed. The International Space Research Station hung like a delicate silver spiderweb against the infinite darkness, its solar panels glinting with an almost purposeful determination. Jae-won Park sat at his primary workstation, his fingers dancing across holographic interfaces that projected complex quantum calculations. He was different from most scientists, not merely intelligent but possessing an almost intuitive understanding of systems that most researchers could only dream about. The first signal came unexpectedly, a transmission that didn't follow any known communication protocols yet carried an intricate mathematical signature that suggested intelligent design. Most would have dismissed it as random cosmic noise, but not Jae-won. His team, a diverse group of researchers from various disciplines, watched as he began decoding the transmission. Dr. Elena Rodriguez, a computational linguist, leaned closer. Her breath catching a strange geometric pattern started forming on the screens. "This isn't random," Jae-won muttered, more to himself than anyone else. "This is deliberate communication." Within hours, the transmission transformed. What began as abstract mathematical sequences evolved into complex visual representations. Strange crystalline structures, multidimensional algorithms, and geometric patterns that seemed to pulse with an alien intelligence. The Galactic Collaborative Council, a confederation of extraterrestrial civilizations that had existed for millennia, was about to receive an unexpected transmission, not from an advanced alien civilization, but from humans. The alien delegates, comprising representatives from 7 different star systems, received the transmission with a mixture of curiosity and mild amusement. They had encountered numerous emerging civilizations before, and most followed predictable developmental patterns. Humans were different. The transmission Jae-won had crafted wasn't just a message. It was a comprehensive demonstration of human cognitive capabilities. Using quantum entanglement principles and advanced computational techniques, he had essentially created a communication method that challenged everything the alien confederacy understood about interstellar communication. What made the transmission extraordinary was its adaptive nature. It could reconfigure itself, respond to potential alien responses in real time, and demonstrate complex problem-solving capabilities that suggested an intelligence far beyond what the aliens expected from a seemingly young civilization. The alien delegates, particularly the Orion Confederacy's senior representatives, began to realize something unprecedented was happening. Their initial scans and preliminary analysis suggested that this transmission wasn't just a communication attempt, it was a sophisticated intellectual challenge. Jae-won's team watched in collective silence. They understood the magnitude of what was happening. This wasn't just first contact. This was a declaration of human potential. The alien delegates' initial response was telling. Their communication networks buzzed with confusion, disbelief, and a growing sense of something that closely resembled respect. The mathematical and computational complexity of the human transmission suggested capabilities that defied their established understanding of emerging civilizations. Hours turned into days. The transmission continued, evolving, adapting, demonstrating layers of complexity that seemed to emerge organically. It wasn't just sending information, it was learning, adjusting, and presenting increasingly sophisticated intellectual frameworks. The Galactic Collaborative Council found themselves in an unprecedented situation. A civilization they had categorized as developing was presenting intellectual capabilities that suggested they were dramatically underestimating human potential. Jae-won Park remained focused, his team working in silent coordination. They weren't trying to impress or intimidate. They were simply communicating, sharing human knowledge and cognitive capabilities in the most direct, honest manner possible. Little did they know, this transmission would become a pivotal moment in human history. The first true introduction of humanity to a broader galactic community, not through military might or territorial expansion, but through pure, unadulterated intellectual capability. As the transmission continued its complex dance across interstellar space, one thing became increasingly clear. Humans were not just another emerging civilization. They were something entirely unexpected, and the universe was about to take notice. The alien delegation arrived precisely 3 weeks after the initial transmission. Their spacecraft, a massive crystalline structure that seemed to defy conventional physics, docked silently at the International Space Research Station's specially constructed quantum communication hub. Yoona Kim stood at the center of the research facility. Her posture calm but her eyes sharp with an intelligence that seemed to penetrate beyond ordinary perception. She wasn't nervous. If anything, she was curious about the challenge that awaited her. The alien representatives were unlike anything humans had imagined. They were tall, almost translucent beings with neural network-like patterns visible beneath their skin. Their leader, a being who called itself Vorelic, carried a device that looked like a combination of a mathematical instrument and a living organism. "We will test your species' intellectual capabilities," Vorelic announced, his voice a strange harmonic resonance that seemed to vibrate through the room's molecular structure. "Our tests have challenged civilizations far more advanced than yours." Yoona simply nodded. No dramatic speeches, no boasting, just quiet confidence. The first challenge arrived as a complex quantum mathematical problem that would typically require centuries of computational analysis. Most human research teams would have taken months to even begin understanding its basic structure. Yoona solved it in 17 minutes. The alien delegates exchanged looks of surprise. Their neural patterns flickered with what could only be described as confusion. The challenges escalated. Interdimensional physics problems that required simultaneous understanding of multiple reality frameworks. Computational scenarios involving quantum entanglement across different universal models. Problems that had stumped their most advanced scientific councils for generations. Yoona worked methodically. Her approach wasn't about showing off. It was about understanding, breaking down complex systems and reconstructing them with an elegance that was distinctly human. What the aliens didn't realize was that humans approached problems differently. Where alien civilizations saw rigid, mathematical frameworks, humans saw potential flexibility and creative solutions. Yoona wasn't just solving problems. She was reimagining entire conceptual landscapes. By the third day of testing, the alien delegates were no longer presenting challenges. They were studying Yoona, trying to understand the cognitive processes that allowed such rapid, adaptive problem-solving. Her team watched silently. Dr. Park, the lead researcher, maintained a calm exterior, but internally he was proud. This wasn't just about proving human intelligence. This was about demonstrating a fundamentally different approach to understanding the universe. The most surprising moment came during a particularly complex quantum entanglement scenario. Instead of following the expected computational path, Yoona introduced a completely novel approach that essentially rewrote the problem's fundamental assumptions. Vorelic's neural patterns began to pulse erratically. The translation device struggled to capture the alien's emotional state, but if one could interpret its signals, it was experiencing something close to intellectual shock. "Your method, it should not be possible," Vorelic stated, his translators barely capturing the nuance of disbelief. Yoona simply smiled, a small, understated gesture that spoke volumes. The challenges continued, but they were no longer tests. They had transformed into a genuine intellectual exchange. The alien delegates were learning as much as they were testing. What became clear was that human intelligence wasn't about raw computational power. It was about adaptability, creativity, and the ability to see beyond established frameworks. Where alien civilizations saw boundaries, humans saw possibilities. By the end of the week, the initial plan of testing human capabilities had completely transformed. The alien delegation was now engaged in a collaborative exploration of knowledge, with humans as unexpected partners rather than subjects. Yoona Kim had done more than solve complex scientific problems. She had fundamentally challenged the aliens' understanding of intelligence itself. As the alien spacecraft prepared to transmit, Their findings back to the Galactic Collaborative Council, one thing was certain: humanity had just changed the game. And they were just getting started. The research facility buzzed with an electric tension. Sung-Ho Lee stood before a massive holographic display, his fingers moving with surgical precision across quantum interface panels. Around him, fragments of alien technology lay scattered like complex puzzle pieces waiting to be understood. 3 months had passed since the initial alien encounter. What started as a scientific exchange had transformed into something far more profound: a radical reimagining of technological possibilities. The alien delegation had initially been hesitant to share their advanced technological frameworks, but humans, with their unique blend of curiosity and adaptability, saw potential where others saw barriers. Sung-Ho's breakthrough came unexpectedly. While analyzing a quantum communication module from the alien spacecraft, he noticed something most researchers would have missed. The technological system wasn't just a device. It was almost a living network with neural-like connections that responded dynamically to environmental changes. Most scientists would have attempted to copy the technology. Sung-Ho decided to understand it. His approach was uniquely human. Instead of treating the alien technology as a complete system, he saw it as a language waiting to be translated. Each circuit, each molecular structure became a word in a complex technological dialogue. The alien representatives watched in growing astonishment. Sung-Ho wasn't just studying their technology, he was engaging with it, creating hybrid systems that merged human creativity with alien technological frameworks. Within weeks, he developed a neural network interface that could integrate alien, computational systems with human technological infrastructure. What would have taken alien civilizations centuries happened in mere months. The hybrid system was revolutionary. It could process information at speeds that defied conventional understanding, adapting and learning with each computational cycle. Traditional technological boundaries simply dissolved. During a demonstration for the Galactic Collaborative Council's representatives, Sung-Ho showcased a prototype that left them speechless. A small device, no larger than a human hand, could now process computational scenarios that previously required entire planetary computing networks. Adaptation is our strength, Sung-Ho explained calmly, his fingers dancing across the holographic interface. We don't just copy, we understand, reimagine, and transform. The alien delegates realized they were witnessing something unprecedented. Humans weren't just learning alien technology. They were fundamentally reshaping technological understanding itself. The hybrid system could predict complex scientific scenarios, simulate multi-dimensional interactions, and generate solutions to problems that had remained unsolved for generations. It wasn't just a technological breakthrough, it was a paradigm shift. What made the system truly remarkable was its organic nature. Unlike rigid alien technologies that followed strict computational protocols, this hybrid system learned, evolved, and responded with an almost intuitive intelligence. Research teams from around the world began collaborating. Universities, private research institutions, and government laboratories started integrating the new technological frameworks. The global scientific community recognized they were part of something extraordinary. The alien delegation's initial skepticism transformed into genuine academic respect. They had arrived expecting to showcase their technological superiority. Instead, they found themselves learning from a civilization they had initially dismissed as primitive. Sung-Ho remained focused. For him, this wasn't about competition or proving human capabilities. It was about understanding, exploring, and pushing the boundaries of what was possible. As news of the breakthrough spread, the implications became clear. This wasn't just a technological advancement. It was a fundamental reimagining of humanity's place in the universe. The hybrid system represented more than technological integration. It symbolized humanity's greatest strength, the ability to look beyond existing frameworks, to see potential where others saw limitations. By the end of the year, the technological landscape had changed forever. Alien representatives who had once viewed humans with mild curiosity now approached them with genuine academic respect. Sung-Ho Lee had done more than create a technological marvel. He had demonstrated that human potential was limited only by imagination and the willingness to challenge existing understanding. The universe was about to get much more interesting. The research laboratory looked more like an artist's studio than a scientific facility. Ye-Jin Choi moved between holographic displays, her movements deliberate and thoughtful. Around her, complex neural mapping systems revealed something extraordinary about human consciousness. The alien research team watched in silent fascination. What they had expected to be a simple neurological study had transformed into a profound exploration of human cognitive capabilities. Ye-Jin's research wasn't just about brain structure. It was about understanding the fundamental essence of human intelligence, something far more complex than any technological measurement could capture. Her first demonstration challenged everything the aliens understood about cognitive processing. While most advanced civilizations viewed intelligence as a linear computational process, humans approached thinking as a dynamic, creative exploration. The neural mapping revealed something unexpected. Human brains didn't just process information. They created entire universes of possibility with each thought. Emotional intelligence, creativity, and adaptive thinking weren't secondary functions. They were core components of human cognitive capability. The alien researchers had sophisticated, scanning technologies that could map neural pathways with microscopic precision, but they struggled to comprehend what they were seeing in Ye-Jin's research. A single human brain could simultaneously process multiple complex scenarios, generate creative solutions, and adapt to entirely new situations faster than any known galactic species. It wasn't just intelligence. It was a kind of cognitive flexibility that defied conventional understanding. Ye-Jin demonstrated how humans could learn complex skills by observing, imagining, and creatively reconstructing knowledge. Where alien species required systematic training and generations of specialized education, humans could adapt and learn with remarkable speed. The research revealed something profound. Human emotions weren't a weakness, as many advanced civilizations believed. They were a sophisticated computational system that allowed for complex decision-making, empathy, and innovative problem-solving. During one demonstration, Ye-Jin showed how human creativity could solve problems that traditional computational methods couldn't even approach. She presented a series of challenges that required not just logical thinking, but imaginative reconstruction of existing knowledge. The alien researchers watched as her team solved problems by thinking around existing frameworks, creating solutions that emerged from emotional insight, intuitive understanding, and creative imagination. What made human cognition truly remarkable was its ability to learn from failure. Unlike rigid computational systems that collapsed when encountering unexpected scenarios, human brains saw challenges as opportunities for growth and understanding. The neural mapping revealed intricate connections between different brain regions that allowed for unprecedented cognitive flexibility. Emotional centers weren't separate from logical processing. They were deeply integrated, creating a holistic thinking system. One alien researcher, a senior cognitive specialist named Zarel, described the human brain as a living, breathing universe of potential. Traditional scanning methods couldn't capture the dynamic, ever-changing nature of human thought. Ye-Jin's research demonstrated that human intelligence wasn't about storing information. It was about creating, reimagining, and continuously transforming understanding. Each thought was a creative act, each memory a potential pathway to new knowledge. The most surprising revelation came from studying human dreams. What aliens considered random neural firings, Ye-Jin showed, was a complex computational process of problem-solving, emotional processing, and creative exploration. By the end of the research period, the alien delegation had fundamentally transformed their understanding of intelligence. Humans weren't just another species to be categorized. They were a unique cognitive phenomenon that challenged every existing scientific framework. Ye-Jin remained calm throughout the presentations. She wasn't trying to prove human superiority. She was simply revealing the beautiful complexity of human consciousness. The research would change everything. It wasn't just a scientific study. It was a profound revelation about the nature of intelligence, creativity, and the incredible potential of human consciousness. As the alien researchers prepared their report for the Galactic Collaborative Council, one thing became clear. Humanity was something entirely unexpected in the universe's complex tapestry of intelligent life. The universe was about to learn that intelligence came in many forms, and humans represented a form unlike anything previously discovered. The grand hall of the Galactic Collaborative Council stretched like an impossible cathedral of light and energy. Jiwoo Park stood at the center, representing humanity, not with weapons or threats, but with something far more powerful: a vision of collaborative potential. Delegates from 17 different star systems watched in complete silence. This wasn't a typical diplomatic meeting. This was a moment that would reshape galactic understanding forever. Jiwoo carried no traditional diplomatic documents. Instead, he held a small crystalline device that contained humanity's comprehensive proposal for interstellar cooperation. His presentation wasn't about demanding recognition. It was about offering a new perspective on civilization's development. The alien representatives had spent months studying human capabilities. They had witnessed unprecedented technological innovations, explored complex cognitive frameworks, and challenged their own understanding of intelligent life. But nothing prepared them for what Jiwoo was about to propose. Humanity's vision wasn't about conquest or domination. It was about mutual growth, shared knowledge, and collective advancement. Where previous galactic civilizations had approached interactions through competitive frameworks, humans suggested a radical alternative: collaborative evolution. The proposal included comprehensive knowledge exchanges, technological sharing platforms, and integrated research initiatives that would benefit every participating civilization. It wasn't just a diplomatic strategy. It was a fundamental reimagining of interstellar relationships. What made the proposal extraordinary was its underlying philosophy. Humans didn't see themselves as superior. They saw themselves as potential partners in a grand, cosmic journey of discovery. The alien delegates' neural patterns began shifting, a sign of profound cognitive processing. They were witnessing something unprecedented, a young civilization offering collaboration instead of demanding recognition. Jiwoo's presentation demonstrated how human creativity could solve complex challenges that had remained unresolved for generations. He showcased technological innovations, cognitive research findings, and collaborative frameworks that suggested humanity's true strength wasn't in individual achievements, but in collective potential. One senior alien representative, a being with thousands of years of diplomatic experience, realized something remarkable. Humans weren't just presenting a proposal, they were demonstrating a completely new model of civilizational interaction. The comprehensive plan included provisions for cultural exchanges, scientific collaborations, and integrated learning platforms. It wasn't about humans teaching or learning. It was about creating a dynamic, evolving knowledge ecosystem. What truly surprised the delegates was humanity's approach to potential conflicts. Instead of defensive strategies, humans proposed adaptive communication frameworks that could prevent misunderstandings before they emerged. The proposal included innovative conflict resolution mechanisms, empathy-based diplomatic training, and collaborative problem-solving methodologies. These weren't just theoretical concepts. They were practical frameworks developed through extensive human research. As Jiwoo spoke, something extraordinary happened. The alien delegates began to see humanity not as a young, emerging civilization, but as a potential catalyst for galactic transformation. The final section of the proposal was most radical. Humans suggested creating an open-source galactic knowledge network where every participating civilization could contribute, learn, and grow together. No hierarchies, no competitive frameworks, just pure, collaborative potential. Hours passed. The silence in the grand hall was profound. Traditional diplomatic protocols seemed to dissolve, replaced by a sense of genuine wonder and possibility. When Jiwoo finished his presentation, the senior delegates didn't immediately respond. They needed time to process what they had witnessed. a comprehensive vision of civilization that challenged every existing galactic interaction model. The Galactic Collaborative Council would never be the same. Humanity had entered the stage not with military might or technological superiority, but with a radical vision of collective potential. As the meeting concluded, one thing became absolutely clear. Humans were not just another species to be categorized. They were a transformative force that would reshape understanding of intelligence, cooperation, and civilizational development. The universe had just discovered something extraordinary. Humanity's true power wasn't in conquering stars, but in connecting them.